Hi, everyone. This is Courtney Tapper. I am from Norwalk, Connecticut, and I started marching with Norwalk High School with their Winter Guard program from middle school through high school. Afterwards, I did some independent world groups. So I marched with Emanon World Guard, Alter Ego World Guard, and then Fusion Winter Guard this past winter season. As for drum corps, I did Fusion Drum and Bugle Corps for DCA, and then I ended with Bluecoats for DCI, and I aged out there. So we're gonna go inside the shot with Chris Maher, and I'm really excited to talk about all these awesome photos. So yeah, here we go.
Hi, everybody. This is Chris Maher. I'm so excited to have Courtney Tapper here with me to look at some photos and talk about all of the wonderful and amazing things that she does on the field and that I get to capture. So, Courtney, I guess I first really remember seeing you in 2015 with Fusion.
Yep.
That's my first memory of you as a performer. And so that's what I was. The reason I asked you to join us is that I love taking your picture. You have the most expressive face, and one of my very favorite pictures ever is one I took of you. So it's one of the ones I think we will talk about today. So let's go inside the shot, look at some photos.
All right. I love this photo. This photo always makes me chuckle because as a performer, I like to sort of give myself these moments to make sure I'm performing so I don't get too wrapped up in like choreography or dancing so that I forget that there's an audience in front of me. But when I saw this photo, I was like, that was unplanned. I didn't even know I made that face. And I think it's so indicative of the show we had that season. It was very like quirky and goofy. So I love that photo.
Right. Yeah, that was the first year, I was able to take your photo.
Yeah.
What was that show about? I don't remember. I remember the beautiful dresses that the guard had, but I don't remember much about what the show was about.
Yeah, so that was in Fusion 2015 for DCA, and the show was called All Aboard. So we were just all like traveling throughout different locations. I believe we started in New York City, and then we went to Chicago, and then we ended in California. So it was all about traveling in different places, and it was really quirky and fun. We had sort of, I believe, a 50s or 60s vibe to it. So that's where the dresses came from and all the bright, fun colors. But yeah, that show was super silly and fun. So I feel like that picture is like exactly how I felt performing that show that season.
Yeah, there's a lot of smiles in that show compared to some of the other shows that I've seen you in, where you do that angry face well also. So
yeah,
awesome. Okay, let's move on to the next photo.
Okay, so this photo also makes me chuckle a little bit because, so this is from Bluecoats in 2017. Our show was called Jacket Line. This photo I find interesting because the show started and like members of the color guard were on this really giant prop, and we all came barreling down towards the 50 and covered the front sideline. So the beginning was very action-packed from the get-go, and I was so excited to be a part of this drum corps. So I was super, super, super nervous. If you could hear my thoughts in the beginning of that show, I was a big bag of nerves. So that picture makes me chuckle because I look so calm and collected, but on the inside, I was freaking out 100%.
Okay. Yeah, I loved photographing that show. It was a photographer's dream because the pit was all off to the sides. Yes. And so I could just park myself on the 50-yard line and that big stage was there and everybody all the action came to me.
Right.
And then I could go with, when the guard was all up front, like you were there, have my second body, have a wide angle lens on it. So I was able to get, the whole performer in that really close up action. So it's ton of fun to shoot that show.
Yeah, I feel like the drill design for that show completely set us up for success with the big prop and then the pit and being in front of the sideline as well.
Yes, awesome. All right, what do we have next? So this is one of my very favorite photos I've ever taken. Every year I go through and I pick out my top 100 photos, and then I pick out the top photo. That was the top photo in 2018 from your time with Bluecoats. That was at Allentown. And one of the great things about shooting at Allentown is once it gets dark, you get this incredible black background that the performers just pop out of, with the lights on them. And then as you popped over the head of everybody else, just made for just the most amazing shot. So I love that shot. And I tried to get it again at Lucas Oil. Wasn't able to get the timing right, but I nailed it that time at Allentown.
Yeah, you absolutely nailed it. That's also probably one of my favorite photos I've ever had taken of me because that jump is also very fast. Like I'm up and down in like 2 seconds. So I'm very surprised that that shot is so clear and it's right at the peak. Because sometimes in color guard with leaps, you'll get the shots, on the way up or on the way down, but it's right at the peak and it's like perfect. Yep. It's so awesome.
Mm-hmm. Well, you time that with the music. I mean, that's right. I'm always listening to the musical cues to figure out where's the apex of that, and and you hit that, just right. So
yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next photo. This will be our last one. All right. So this was this year indoor with the Fusion Winter Guard, and it was the only chance I got to see you this year. one and done. That was at South Brunswick. I just decided to just go up there for the part of the day, as much of the day as I could be there for. I had just gotten a new camera that Friday. This was Sunday, and so it was my first chance really to try it out and see how it worked. And there you were on the floor. So excited to see you out there. Got lots of good shots of you that day. But I love that one, just the expression on your face, and just you could just really feel the joy in your performance in that shot.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the joy. That's actually probably one of my favorite shows I've been a part of. It was like very jazzy, and throughout my time in color guard, I realized that I was in love with jazz performance, so that show was like a perfect show to sort of end my career on anyways. I also really like that shot because people probably wouldn't know, but I'm actually in the middle of doing a turn. So again, I'm so surprised at how clear that shot was because we're turning and doing that pose. And like a lot of us, even when we learned that choreography, we were like, this part's going to be so messy looking because we're moving so fast and no one's going to notice that our hands are up like this. And then you come with this perfectly clear shot of the turn. So it's awesome.
Okay. Well, that's I guess a wrap. That's our photos that we looked at with Courtney today inside the shot. Guess what I want to know most is will I ever get to see you again and to be able to photograph you?
I know.
Do you think will you continue with the indoor guard? I mean, you're aged out of DCI, so will I see you in a DCA field? Will I see you indoor? What are your plans?
I guess technically no, but I never like to say completely no because I know if somebody randomly wants me to come join a season, I'll probably want to do it because color guard's always, a huge part of my heart. I don't have any plans for this winter, but I mean, in the future, I'm sure I'll probably join another production because I don't think I'll ever be completely rid of the activity because I just love it so much, especially because I'm teaching anyways. I'm always surrounded by it. So I think in the future, maybe once.
Okay. Where do you teach?
I teach at my old high school, actually. So Norwalk High School in Connecticut.
Okay.
So I've been there like right after I graduated. I just started teaching. So I've always kind of been around there.
Right. I've only seen Norwalk, a couple of times. Every once in a while, I'll go to the WGI regional, and then I'll see them there. And the couple of shows I remember were really pretty awesome. So you definitely came from a really great program there.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. Yeah, we had a lot. I'm glad that we had both a marching band and an indoor program. And as an indoor program, we got to do WGI. So we got all of those opportunities that a lot of people don't get until they decide to join independent. With these high school programs, you never know what your school can offer, how many kids they can offer that to, and how that's going to work with traveling and all of those things. So I'm very, very fortunate. So that's why one of the reasons I love being part of that program now, teaching, because I can just give back to the program that gave me my start to do all of these awesome things that I got to do later on. So, yeah.
All right. Well, it was awesome having you here and looking at some photos with you, and wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you. It was so good to see you.
Good to see you too.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun talking about these photos with you today, Chris. I'm so glad that you've gotten to see me throughout pretty much almost my entire career. You've seen me from when I was right out of high school when I was 18 up until this past year when I was 23. So you've really gotten to watch me grow up and so many other people grow up through this activity and sort of capture these pictures that we get to look back on now and that we have as little keepsakes of like these seasons that we were a part of that we, won't have in the future. But I can't wait to see what you do in the future with other people. I know they'll all be amazing because they're always amazing. Everybody knows that you're like one of the best. So I'm excited, but thank you so much. This was amazing.